All right, so yesterday we stopped at printing an individual item on a list, and I made mention that a list has index number. Items in a list have index number, and the first index number on a list is zero. All right, and when you're counting, that's when you're counting from the left. But when counting from the right hand side, the first index number is -1. Okay, so if I wanted to print out mango, I can either use -2 and print. All right, and it's going to print what? Mango out. Or I can do just one here, and it's going to print out mango for me. Let me go back to my documents. All right, so let's look at adding items to a list. All right, this is what we just concluded, is accessing elements in a list. So let's look at adding items in a list. Um, so there are different ways of adding items to a list. Okay, let me let me talk about this first. You can also remember I talked about the f string, the format string. Okay, you can also format use an item within a list. All right, let's assume wanted to use, we're talking about movies, for example. All right, and we had movies like Dune, Avengers, and Robocop. Oops, my device is ringing. All right, sorry for the break. I hope I'm still connected because a call is coming into my device. I'm not using a MiFi.
I can see.
All right, okay, fine then. All right, so let's assume we're printing out. We had a list of movies. So our final output was going to be today our, let me use a double quote, be watching, then the name of the movie will now appear. Let's say Robocop, or let me say June. I'll be watching June. So if I wanted June to be part of my statement, I'm going to use a curly bracket and have movies there, and password 0 within it. Okay, and I'll close that up with this. So right here, for this to actually work, you'd have to use your f string, right, so it can work properly. Then I have to close my string with this. So right now, if I should print this statement, to now say today I'll be watching what? Dune. So you can use an item in the list, okay, for your print statement. Now let's look at changing, adding and removing items in the list. So we're going to be modifying our list. So one way we can modify our list, all right, is by saying, let's say we wanted to change the value of Robocop, all right, to fast 9. All right, I can now say movies, and I'll put the index number I want to change. So Robocop is what? Index what? 2, right? Movies dot in movies in bracket index 2, equals what? Ducati or um fast 9, like what is it? Fast 9. So next time when I print movies, all right, you'll find out that the result of Robocop has been changed to what? Fast 9. So that's how to change an individual element in a list. Then what we wanted to add an element to the list, right? We can do that by saying movies dot. So you can see these are the different methods you can use with a variable. That's one thing about using these IDs. They help you what? They show you all the different methods that are available, right? So if I use dot append, you can see this is actually the code for append for a method that is inbuilt in Python. This is actually how it works. So append is more like a class that has an object. So I'm not looking at that now, I'm not explaining that now. So movies dot append, right? And I'm going to do what? Add the name of the movie I want to append to the list. Let's say I wanted to add okay, I have Avengers here. Let's say Iron Man. Okay, so the next time I'm going to print movies, okay, next time I'm going to print movies, you find out that what? Iron Man has been added to our list here, right? So this was the initial list, which was what this was doing here. So this was the initial list, and we have what? Iron Man added to the list here. So the next thing, we're going to do is to insert. What if we wanted to insert an element somewhere within the list? So for example, now I wanted to put in a movie, okay, before Robocop, not at the end of Robocop, because you find out that Iron Man is what came to the end of the list. So append as it what as the last item on the list. All right. So Iron Man has it as the last item on the list. But what if we wanted to put something in a different index number? How do we do that? So you use the what insert, the insert method. All right. So I'm going to say movies dot what insert, using this as an example now. Insert Iron Man. So now before we put the Iron Man, we are going to put what? The index number. Let's say I wanted to put it in position 1. Alright. So you can see it here. Support what? Index before the object. So when I insert Iron Man in position 1 is where who is taking position 1 at the moment? Avengers. So I want Iron Man to take this position and Avengers will what? Move forward. So once I run my code, you'll find out that what Iron Man is where before Avengers. So that's how that works. You can also remove elements in the list. You can remove an individual element in the list. For example, let me add Iron Man here. Okay. So we have Iron Man here. So let's assume we wanted to remove Iron Man. Alright. You can use the delete. Alright. We can use the delete and say delete what? Movies. Alright. And what's the index number of Iron Man? The index number of Iron Man is what? 1. So once
One.
I run the code, you can see now Iron Man has what? Been removed from the list. Right. So there's another way to remove items in the list. Right. If you use the pop, there's a pop method. All right. I'm going to erase this too. There's a pop method. Pop actually, when you pop something, you actually remove the last item on that particular list. So if I say movies, or will I say, let's say popped movies now. Let me use this as a new variable. All right, popped movies. Remember variable names, you don't use spacebar. You have to use an underscore. So pop movies is equal to what? Movies dot pop. All right. So I have movies dot pop now. So I'm going to print what? Um, movies, and I'm still going to print what? Popped movies. So you know um, the value of movies. All right. So print popped movies. All right. So by the time you print this now, you find out that what? I after popping movies, right? And I printed my movies. Okay, let's start from the beginning now. The first print statement was ap- imputes what? Fast 9 to the what? In place of what? Avengers, right? This time around, Avengers. Then after I printed my movies were what? Now Dune, Iron Man, Fast 9, and what? Robocop. Then the next thing is what? I popped movies, alright? And pop removes the what? Last item, which is what? Robocop. So I assigned that movies.pop to a variable so we can know the item that was popped. That's just the reason for putting it in this variable here. So when I printed the value of the new value of movies, we have what? June, Iron Man, and what? Fast 9 with Robocop popped. So what was popped? Popped movies, right? So what is that? Robocop. Is that clear? Do we understand that? Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you can actually still use an index number, okay, in with the pop command. So I can pop Iron Man. Let's say Iron Man is index number what? 1. Alright, so if I should run my code now, you find out that what? Iron Man has been what? Popped instead of what? Robocop. So when you use the pop command without inputting any index number, Python automatically what? Assumes that it is what? The last item you want to pop. So you can also remove items by typing what you want to um remove, all right, or what you want to delete. And to do that, you use the word remove, um use the remove method. So I can come here, I'm going to delete this and say um movies dot remove. All right, now this time around I'm going to put the string inside what I want to remove, which is what? Let's say I want to remove Dune. Okay, so I'm going to print my movies now, and you find out that what? I've removed June. So June is no longer on the list because I've used the remove method to what? Pull it out. Okay, so let's look at how we can organize our list. All right, so I'm going to change. Let me change this one to append. Okay, all right. So just adding this so we can have more movies inside. We can, instead of using fast 9 to replace this, we can add fast 9 there, or I can just simply come and let me just simply move it into the list. All right. So I can remove everything I have here, come to a new line. All right. So we can actually organize our lists. All right. Arrange them alphabetically. All right. So to do that now, I can say movies dot sort. So this is how they sort use the sort method with all those filters on websites, right? So you can arrange them by sort by alphabet or sort by size or whatever filter they put there. So this is just an example of the sort. So we can sort. So once we sort this, all right, I can print, or I can even print. Let me just print it instead of altering the actual value. So print movies dot sort, or okay, it's going to give me none. So movies dot sort, and I can now say print movies again. So when I run this, okay, so we have June as our first print statement. Okay, we have June, Iron Man, Avengers, Robocop. So after sorting, we have what? Avengers, followed by what? June, followed by Fast 9, followed by Iron Man, followed by what? Robocop. So that's how to sort. Then we can sort temporarily. Okay, so just so that, because once you have sorted it now, okay, you have rearranged your list totally. So your list will have all these, their index numbers will change because June is no longer going to be in the beginning. June will not be in another position. Avengers will now become the one that will be in the beginning. But you can temporarily what? Sort your list. Okay, so for you to sort your list, right? Um, you can now use print what? Sorted, then full movies brackets. So I'm going to delete this. Alright, and when I print this, I have what? Sorted movies. Then when I print movies, let me print movies again.